Are you living the Delaware Beach lifestyle? You can't live at the beach and do nothing. This up-and-coming year-round area has lots to offer. Find out where to eat, play, and serve. Living the ultimate dream.
Hi, welcome to the 302 Lifestyle Beach Podcast. Your host, Dylan. We have Frannie with, she is just so awesome. She has offering businesses starting up and also with real estate. She had a little bit of a struggle and has some expertise in the business side. And there's just so many people, especially through COVID, and even before then, I think people were just realizing that, you know what, I have dreams, I have aspirations. It could be a house, it could be a business. And I want to do these things and I don't know how, I don't know who to turn to. I'm Googling and it's just so much information. I wish there was just one person out there that could help me. And usually a business and a house kind of goes side and side. People start making more money. They want to look for a house and they need help. So Frannie does all of that. And we're so happy to have you on, Frannie. Could you tell us a little bit about your background, how you got here, how you even got to doing both of these things?
Yeah, sure. Well, first of all, thank you so much for having me on. I appreciate it. I haven't seen you guys in quite a while, so again. And yeah, so I came here. My parents were migrant workers, so they came here to work at all of the poultry plants that are here in Sussex County. So that's how I ended up here, because I've been all over the place, Texas, Florida, everywhere. But we ended up staying here, and I love Slower Lower. So as I went about my life working 9 to 5, I ended up with wanting to buy a house, and I had no idea how to do it. There was not of resources for me, and I wasn't in the best place as far as my credit and things of that nature, and I had no clue what came with the process. So out of frustration, I ended up going to a class, like a first-time homebuyer class, and decided that I could just go get my real estate license and buy my own house and get buy my own house. So I was like, you know what? This is such a frustrating process for someone who has no clue about real estate or the home buying process, that I really became passionate about, helping others go through that process as well. And I got my license and I started reaching out to, I've always worked with the Latino community in Sussex. So I started reaching out to them and started helping people buy homes. Out of that, before that, while I was working 9 to 5, I used to assist with creating LLCs and corporations to help people start their businesses. And I did that for about 5 years. So locally, I was very well known for that. A lot of the local Latino and non-Latino community knew me for LLCs. If you thought about how can I, do an LLC, my name would automatically pop up. So they started reaching out to me about that, even though I was no longer doing that. And I just saw the demand and the need for it. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to jump right back to that. So I was like, I can do both. So I juggle both. People buy homes. And like you said, you're absolutely correct. A lot of business owners, they'll start their business, go, hey, you know where I can find like a vacant lot, or where I can lease some commercial space.
Oh, yeah.
It really does truly go hand in hand.
Yeah, and that was our experience too. We were, all of that stuff. So, and Frannie, you were actually helping us with our business and the filings and all that stuff. I have no idea what goes on. Just a side note here, and if people are interested in reaching you, we're going to drop your links below here. So if anybody wants to get started with Frannie, or you're thinking about starting a business, especially the Latino community, if you're listening to this, check out 15% off any new business formation by mentioning 302 Lifestyle. And you can contact Frannie with the business side at lindavistabusiness.com. And for real estate, Frannie's lindavista.com. We're going to put all those links down below. So tell us a little bit about the journey from home buying. And you were sitting in the class and all of a sudden you're like, you know what, I can do this. Like, how did that all happen? And what was the process like after that?
Well, I'm sitting in a class, and it's a little more detailed that they had a real estate licensing course that was also coming up because I guess that kind of goes hand in
Hmm.
hand. So I decided to take it, and I was just like, you know what, I can do this. This isn't too hard. Little did I know at that
Yeah.
time. But I was just so passionate about it. And I think what clicked was that it's really hard to find a professional, and there's many out there, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of professionals out there that really have your best interest in mind,
Hmm.
themselves in your shoes, and they do what's best for you. So but I wanted that for myself, and I was having a lot of trouble finding that.
Mm.
So I wasn't taken very serious. People just weren't willing to help. So I decided, you know what, the best person that can help me is me. So let me just do this. Let me get my license. I waited. I was so anxious to buy my house, but I waited a year and got my license, got the experience I needed. And I fumbled through it. Believe me, I fumbled through the sale, which was my own, I represented myself. And that was my very first sale. And I kind of just fumbled through and learned from my mistakes. And I made it, and I bought my
Mm.
house, felt so accomplished. And I carry that feeling of hope, accomplishment, and really trust with me, with any and all of my clients, because I want them to feel like, oh, okay, Franny's got me. She's going to
Mm.
make all the right decisions to make sure that I'm, well aware of what I'm doing, that I am involved, that I know exactly what I'm stepping into before I jump in this ring. So, yeah.
Wow. So there's a lot of people, I think. Uh, so there's two things. There's one, like it's so awesome because Daisy, for anybody listening, my wife, she was in real estate most of her working life. And then out here, she ended up going to get her license and stuff. But I didn't realize the amount of work. And I guess when you're thinking about buying a house, oh yeah, somebody knows how to do that. I just sign like 500 documents and that's it. But the amount of knowledge and work, and I'm sure there's a lot of fear and stress behind that too. Like thinking that, oh my gosh, I am responsible for these people signing the most, expensive and most important document of their lives. And sometimes that's like the biggest thing that people do in their entire life. So kudos to you. And just, I never knew the amount of work that goes behind the scenes on learning to do that.
Mhm.
So I can see how it took a year because holy cow, it's a lot of stuff, a lot of information.
Yeah.
But so I wanted to talk about a lot of people, they have something they want to do or they have an idea, and there's a lot of fear and a lot of like anxiety, I think, that goes behind stepping into the unknown.
Mhm.
Tell me a little bit about that and what that experience was like, and what would you recommend for somebody that has something inside of them that wants to do something and they're scared?
I would say that it's better to try it than to regret it later, because you're always, I'm sure we've all experienced that where we're like, man, I should have really done that. I should have really tried
Mm.
that. And we think about it constantly, probably for the rest of our lives, regretting that we never jumped into some sort of idea or some
Mm.
adventure that, we wish that we could have. So with anybody that, and there's so many people that are so creative, that have so many skills, that have so much gifts, that fear really just stops them, dead in their tracks. Like they just won't move forward. They don't want to take the risk. They feel
Mm.
like they might fail. But I think we all fail. We all fail over and over again until we get it right. So I really try to encourage anybody that has any sort of business idea, that wants to go into business for themselves and really make that passion that they have come true. Just do it. Just try
Mm.
it. We have started with Linda Vista Business Services. We have started a supportive, not just a company that just starts you up and throws you to the wolves and says, "Okay, you got your
Mm.
LLC and all your paperwork. Bye." You we want to try to help you. We do consultation as well. So we'll sit down and talk to you and say, "Hey, what's your idea? What's your plan? What's your marketing technique?" We kind of just have those conversations with you because we have such a wonderful group of entrepreneurs on our end that have experienced, that have gone through all of that. So we
Mm.
really try to educate and empower anybody who has a wonderful idea that they would love to bring to life.
Wow. And so I'm assuming you have a Facebook group too that people can, or a Facebook
Yeah.
page that people can contact you, and you're probably building like a nice community of people. So what you're saying is it's scary and there's a lot of unknown stuff. You can Google forever, but now here's somebody that knows the process, is passionate about it, also went through their own journey of struggles. So you know the other side of that coin. And uh, once you start or people get down this journey, you're not just saying, okay, you're good to go, forget about it.
Yeah.
It's okay, we're going to be here for you. We'll help you along the way. If you have any questions or problems or situations that happen in the future, we're also going to help you for that too. So that's really awesome.
Yep. Absolutely.
Cool. Now, what's one of your biggest mistakes in starting a business or going down this path? And how did you
Uh,
overcome it?
I think my biggest mistake is thinking that I'm going to be a success overnight. That was my biggest mistake.
Mm.
It takes time, and people tend to get discouraged after, I would say the first year of business, you're going to do absolutely nothing. The second year, you're going to start picking, so
Whoop. Okay, we just had a little technical glitch. We're back, and Frannie, you were just telling us about how one of your biggest mistakes was thinking that you're just going to be super successful right away,
yeah,
and sometimes that takes time. And the first year was mostly what was the
nothing.
first year like?
Your first year is you're not going to have the return on investment that you're looking for. It's just not going
Mm,
to happen. It takes time. And I learned from that. So from any new business venture, and I learned that in real estate. When I started real estate my first year, I was ready to hang my license up because I'm
mm,
like, nobody's buying anything from me, so I'm just kind of like, this is pointless. What am I doing? And
mm.
now that I've made this my full-time job, like, it's off commission. What am I going to do? I just got really flustered. And like I said, I was ready to give up. But, I kept going. I kept pushing. And by my second year, my third year, it was just such a
Mm.
momentum up that, I'm like, I'm glad that I stuck with it. So I tell any business entrepreneur that that first year, that second year is going to be tough, and you really just need to focus on building your brand, marketing, getting your name out there,
Hmm.
and business will come.
Yeah, I have to say, I mean that was definitely our experience starting a business. So the first year, yeah, you're right. It was a lot of fear, unknown, money, and I can definitely say that there was that thought in my back of my head, like maybe I should just go back to working, all that stuff. But it's so cool when you meet people that just kind of stuck with it. Did I lose you? There you
Oh,
are.
I'm that.
Yeah, so awesome. So hang in there, guys. And what an inspiration to see someone that just started, was very scared, and you might not have made it, but you held with it. So I think it also tells that you have to be passionate about what you do too.
Yeah.
Now,
Yes.
you meet a lot of business owners. Would you say that's the number one thing with businesses, that they're passionate about whatever they're starting?
Yes, I love it. I love meeting new business owners, simply because we all connect some sort of way or another.
Mm,
Especially with me being in real estate, I get to see all of these new businesses start up, and I end up sending them referrals, like if a new construction company was set up, or a new lawn maintenance or painting company, I keep all of those numbers in my back pocket, because some new homeowner is going to say, hey, anybody that does paint? Anybody that works on roofs?
mm,
And I say, hey, I've got this new company, or I've got this company that can help you out. And it's just, you scratch my back, I scratch yours. And when you build those relationships, they become, lifelong
mm.
relationships, friendships eventually. So, yeah, I definitely, I love meeting new business owners through this method, or through real estate, or just, being out and about.
Yeah. Now, do you have a favorite story of somebody that went from just starting or trying to get a house, and like one of your favorite stories of helping somebody?
Uh, they're all my favorite.
Yeah.
They're all my favorite. It's just a huge joy to see somebody finally,
Mm,
realize their dream. But I'd have to say there was a young lady who was not working with a whole lot. As far as, you get pre-approved for a certain amount, and then we start looking for houses and within
Mm-hmm.
your budget. And she didn't have a whole lot to work with, and it was a tough market. So we spent about, I would say, about a year and a half just searching, and trying to figure out a way to get her into a new home. And she would even tell me, like, I'm so sorry, it's been so long, you've probably never worked with someone this long. And I'm, don't even worry about it. Like, the end goal is to make you a homeowner. So finally we did find something. We found something, and her and her family moved in, and they were extremely happy. And like I said, it brings me a lot of joy just to see someone, the happiness on their face that they finally have their own home after renting for so long. And I think it's my favorite story because shortly after she bought her home, she called me because she wanted to start her new business.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah, so I mean, double time happy, because she called me and she said, "Hey, I'm thinking about starting this cleaning business. Can you help?" And I said, "Absolutely." So she's now, doing a cleaning service. She's a homeowner, full time. So it's. I think that's the biggest thing. Seeing others succeed and having played even a small role in that is
Hmm.
huge.
Franny, it sounds like you've really found your calling and what you're passionate about. So, what if somebody's sitting there and they're like, you know what, I want to get a home or I want to start a business? What are like maybe a few things that they can kind of do on their own before reaching out, or what, maybe some things that they need to have in place beforehand? Do you have any suggestions for that?
I would say, as far as home ownership, I know a lot of people. Sorry about that.
Oh.
Um, it's Saturday morning. It's a busy day. Uh, I know a lot of people. They want to try to get you prepared before you get to the table. But honestly, I don't want to say that. I want to say just reach out to us, because sometimes it's discouraging when people go, "Hey,
Oh,
your credit is right. Make sure that you have this document and that document and blah blah blah."
perfect.
It's just, it can be overwhelming, and then people go, "Oh, I don't want to, I don't even want to deal with that," and then they end up just giving up. So I would say just reach out to me first, make that your first step, and then we'll instruct you from there, because sometimes encouraging words can really motivate you to get the stuff that you need done, because you know that you've already spoken to someone that believes in you and in the process. So
Wow, that's awesome. So you heard it, guys. If you're sitting there thinking about anything, just don't even think about it. Just call Franny and have somebody on your back and your shoulder motivating you and supporting you and pushing you in the right direction. Oh,
absolutely.
I love it. So are you from the 302? How did you end up in this area?
I was born in Salisbury. Believe it or not, I was born in. And my parents, like I said, are migrant workers. So we've traveled to Florida to work, in landscaping, or they worked. I was a kid then, but
Hmm.
we've traveled to Florida, we've traveled to Texas, and we've come back to the Eastern Shore and ended up in Delaware because of the poultry industry. And my parents worked for many years in that industry, and I ended up growing up here. So I ended up loving, slower, lower Delaware. And I've probably had the opportunity to leave and move and go somewhere else, but I've always just loved living here. It's so slow paced, everything dies down in wintertime, and then summer kicks back up and it's back to,
Yeah.
activity everywhere. So yeah, that's
It's a
how I,
nice like
yeah,
back and forth, and so we're, as you know, we get a ton of people coming down here wanting to move here from DC, Baltimore, Philadelphia, New York, Virginia, Maryland, all these bigger cities, and they're coming here to kind of de-stress and live the beach life. It's actually one of the fastest growing beach towns in the whole northern East Coast.
it is.
And I think there's 12 developments popping up just around my house alone. So this is a perfect time to reach out, and if you want to sell or try and change your house or anything like that, or even start a business, because there's so many people moving here. So any of these people listening that are thinking about coming here, what would you say one of your favorite places to go, or maybe places to relax, or you got any favorite spots?
love Delaware. So I would have to say I really like the beach area. So anytime I'm looking to have some fun or go relax, I go to the beach, which would be Rehoboth and Dewey. But I I love, and I'll give them a little shout out because I just love them. Sodell Concepts has so many
Oh
restaurants.
yes, I love their food.
So, yes, I would have to say any Sodell spots are my.
Yeah, yeah. Any restaurant, they're just so good. And I'm hoping
I'm
to get Matt Haley on here soon. I don't know. We'll see.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah,
cool. And
any places in those areas, they just, the food is delicious. I'm a big foodie, so I love to try new food and just sit at the bar, have a couple drinks, have some great apps, and just enjoy the environment. I know we're kind of a little restricted right now, but
yeah.
uh, with the ability that we have, I take the opportunity to do that.
Okay, so you have a big connection with the Spanish community. And what is your favorite Mexican restaurant?
Ooh. Oh, I would have to give, and I'll give it to them because it's just my favorite spot. There is, and no bias because I did help them establish their, I helped them LLC. But I would have to say Tacos Chabelita in Laurel, Delaware, which is a little out of the way.
Oh,
But
wow.
yes,
I'd never.
ta- Tacos Chabelita. If you're looking for
Mm.
real, authentic Mexican food, this place is just it's so fire. I mean, it's so good, so good.
Ooh, I have to put a link down below for their address. I haven't. I am so like I love Spanish, authentic Mexican food. So I am definitely going to check that out. Maybe this weekend.
Yeah, I do.
All right, Franny. Once again, guys, if you are looking for some help, who else than someone that's so passionate about what they do? Check them out, and they got a great deal for starting a business. Now, you ready for lightning round?
I'm ready.
All right, here we go. So, what is your best book, tool, software, video, movie, or something in your life that inspired you or gave you a shift in your mindset?
Oh my goodness. Hmm. The best book.
Could be a hammer. Be like breaking down walls. You got any favorite movies or?
I do. I have a bunch of favorite movies, but I'm trying to think. Okay, here's one. I would have to say one of my all-time favorite movies, and I'll watch it over and over again, because it just brings this fire out of me. I would have to say Wolf of Wall Street. I would have to say Wolf of Wall Street. I love Leo, first of all, but it's just so much passion, so much determination, and so much just knowing that you're going to succeed. That
Hmm,
confidence is just, you watch something like that, and people connect with either movies or music or
hmm,
books or artists, and anytime they indulge in it, it just turns them into a different person. They become more confident. They walk a little more, with a little more swag. They just feel a
hmm.
little. So I would have to say that movie really inspired me, and it just made me realize that if you walk like you already have it, then you will.
Hmm. I like that. And it's hard sometimes, like when you're sitting there, you're just watching TV and you're just get trapped in the routines and habits of your life. But it sounds like I'm hearing this, from a lot of people that are passionate about what they do. It's when you feel or see or hear something that, kind of gets you going, maybe just latch onto that and say, oh my gosh, I'm going to feel as if I already have that thing or I already have done that thing.
Hmm.
And I feel like everything else, in the universe and God will just kind of like align the right people, the right places, the right things in your path. I love that. And I love that movie too. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, it
Okay.
is. But yes, absolutely, I agree with you. As long as you really truly believe and are passionate and become, I don't want to say the word because it sounds a little crazy, but it is true. If you
Hmm.
become obsessed with what you really, really, really want, then like you said, everything else will line up for you.
Hmm. Okay. What is one thing people don't know about real estate or business?
One thing people don't know.
Trying to stump you.
It's all about who you know. It really
Mm,
it applies to real estate and business and to everything else, because you ever notice how when you know someone, it makes it a little easier.
yeah. Yeah.
Whether you're going to your favorite restaurant or you're going to the movies or whatever, if you have an inside connection and if you've already established a relationship with someone, it makes that process just
Mm.
a little easier. So I think my biggest thing is making sure that I make bestest of friends with anybody that can help myself and my client.
Well, I love that. A lot of people think it's what you know,
Yeah.
and it's actually who you know. And I think just being a nice person in general to
Yeah.
people around you, you never know what door is going to open. So being a jerk or mean to people in your life or around you or strangers is
Hmm.
never a good thing. So just always think that, you never know. And that's so awesome. I love it. And it's not what you know, it's who you know.
Exactly.
All right, Franny. And what is one question I should have asked you, and what's your answer?
Oh my. Question you should have asked me. Oh, that's a tough one. I think you might have stumped me on that
Maybe
one.
about plans for 2021, maybe?
That's a good question. Yeah. I've got big plans for 2021. I think I really want to see more businesses start up. I want to, oh, here's a question you didn't ask me. And I extend the invite to you as well with you. With Linda Vista Business Services, we have a podcast that we do as well, where we really highlight businesses and their journeys through their business, their success stories, their failures, all of that good stuff, kind of like what you're doing here. My plan for 2021 is to just continue with that and continue to inspire and motivate others, because the response to reaching out and educating people, such as what you're doing now, is incredible. People really appreciate it. Even though
Yeah.
not many people may like your post or may like your videos, they're watching, and even if
Hmm.
they're being inspired, so, and motivated.
Oh, I love it. And yes, we'll definitely be on. Thank
Yeah.
you. I think it's really important to just kind of give people a peek into um, into your personality and your life, and open up a little bit. Sometimes we're so hidden in our little worlds, it's really nice to link up with people like you, other podcasts, other shows. But I think as a person listening, um, if you want something or you want to know something, the internet is your best friend and you can find out. So just start looking. There's so many awesome people and businesses in the 302 area. Franny, we're so thankful to have you on here.
Yeah.
And what a awesome story. And you're definitely a motivation to us and other people. And you're helping so many people. So that's so awesome.
Thank you so much for having me on. I really appreciate it.
All right, guys, keep living that 302 lifestyle, and we will see you next time.
Wish you could spend more time having fun and less time with chores? Go to 302beachtalk.com to get $20 off a home cleaning. You'll be entered to win a completely free cleaning. Eat, play, serve. Sponsored by That Guy with a Broom.